Hello, my friend, and welcome to Wisdom Trek. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, your guide to wisdom and creating a living legacy. Thank you for joining us for our 5-day per week Wisdom and Legacy Building podcast. This is day 634 of our trek, and it is time for our Mindshift Monday series. Wisdom Trek's primary focus is to assist you in creating your living legacy. Creating your living legacy can only be accomplished by gaining wisdom in many areas of life. You can only gain wisdom by changing your negative habits into positive habits. Changing habits is a result in changing the way you think. In other words, to create a living legacy, you must choose to be in continual mode of mind shift, or changing the way you think. It is so easy to get stuck in the mindset that your current circumstances cannot be changed. But this is not true. You must remember this fundamental principle. In order to change your life, you must change how you think and what you think about. Our Mindshift Monday podcast and journal will provide you with practical ways to make a mind shift to a rich and satisfying life. We are broadcasting from our studios at the Big House in Marietta, Ohio. On Saturday, we were blessed to host a birthday party for our great niece, Maya, who turns 4 this week. Her mom, Rebecca, and wanted to have the birthday party here so that the local cousins could also attend. With Kip staying with us for 2 weeks, we were able to have all 6 grandchildren with us also. Since Hazel's immune system is still very fragile due to her leukemia, she was just here for a little stay, but it was great to have all the kids here to celebrate Maya's birthday. Paul and I enjoy having the Big House available for all types of family gatherings, as it has been the family hub now for over 115 years. We are blessed to carry on this legacy, which we desire to pass on to many more generations. Creating a legacy is based on the type of fruit or result that your life produces. The fruit your life produces is based on your mindset. So our trek today will cover what kind of fruit is on your tree. As a Christ follower, our life should produce positive character traits or fruit. In Psalms chapter 1, verse 3, we read, "They are like the trees planted along the riverbanks, bearing fruit for each season. Their leaves never wither, and they prosper in all they do." Jesus also spoke figuratively concerning the tree representing a person's life when he said in Matthew chapter 12, verse 33, "A tree is identified by its fruit. If the tree is good, its fruit will be good. If the tree is bad, its fruit will also be bad." Jesus then said in John chapter 15, 8, "When you produce much fruit, you are my true disciples. This brings great glory to my Father." Since your life can be figuratively illustrated as a tree, I must ask you this question. What kind of fruit is on your tree? I had the privilege of growing up on an apple orchard where we raised dozens of different kinds of apples, along with a few peaches and pears. Each year as the fruit matured in the fall, it was very easy to determine what type of tree it was by the type of fruit that was manifested on its branches. This is also true for your life. The people you associate with know what type of person you are because of the fruit that you bear in your daily living. Those in your immediate family have the full realization of this. Here is a truth that is important to consider. Just as a tree cannot produce fruit that is not of its kind, neither can you. In other words, you produce in your life only fruit that is consistent with your character. No person is capable of living a deceptive life all the times around all people. You cannot produce consistent fruit that you do not believe or embrace. Just like it takes proper water, nutrients, nurturing, and pruning for an apple tree to produce a good and bountiful crop of apples, your life requires the same to produce good and godly character traits or fruit. If you desire to produce better fruit in your life, you must have a mind shift to change the way you think. You can change the way you think with the proper nutrients going into your mind, nurturing your thoughts, and then pruning out the bad or unproductive thoughts. In the 15th chapter of John, Jesus gives us a formula for successful fruit bearing. First, you must be connected to the correct nutrient source. In John chapter 15, verses 4 and 5, Jesus says, "Remain in me, and I will remain in you. For a branch cannot produce fruit if it is severed from the vine. You cannot be fruitful unless you remain in me. Yes, I am the vine, you are the branches. Those who remain in me, and I in them, will produce much fruit, for apart from me you can do nothing." Many people who are frustrated by the lack of fruit in their lives have never had the right relationship with God. Their fruit is artificial, like wax apples, and not very satisfying. Their independent spirit has shriveled their resources until their production is limited to a small, cramped capacity to produce. Much like a crabapple is a poor representation of fruit. What a difference it makes to realize that to be connected to God means His power is your power. What is His becomes yours. No longer is it a question of how can you expand your potential, but rather, how can you allow God's power to flow through you? The second point is you must be pruned and disciplined to be fruitful. Jesus said in John chapter 15, verse 2, He cuts off every branch of mine that does not produce fruit. He prunes the branches that do not bear fruit so that they will produce even more. Fruit bearing is God's highest desire for your life. He wants you to bear more fruit. He is the source of unlimited blessings that should flow through your lives and into the lives of others. He wants you to be disciplined in order to be a channel for greater fruitfulness. He wants you to create and live your legacy each day. For this to become a reality, you must allow Him to change the way you think and remove every hindrance to fruit bearing in your life. You will be fruitful only when you have a mind shift and become disciplined. Pruning your thinking is the price for abundant fruit. And the third aspect that you need to consider is you must realize that God's purpose for His children is fruitfulness. Once again, Jesus tells us in John chapter 15, verse 8, When you produce much fruit, you are my true disciples. This brings great glory to my Father. Once you allow God to start changing the way you think and His purpose is discovered, it is much easier to do His will. The fruit of the Spirit should be your key or template to effective fruit bearing. Keep your relationship right with God, allow Him to change the way you think, and keep your life disciplined, then you can fulfill God's purpose for your life. Your constant contact with the vine will produce the nutrients and source for your continual mind shift. With these thoughts in mind, we will conclude our trek for today as you tap into the source to produce a bountiful, continual supply of fruit in your life, and this is done through staying connected to God and allowing Him to change the way you think. Next week, we will continue our trek of Mindshift Monday. On tomorrow's trek, though, we will explore another wisdom quote. This 3-minute wisdom supplement will assist you on becoming healthy, wealthy, and wise each day. Thank you for joining me on this trek that we call life, and encourage your friends and family to join us and to come along with us tomorrow for another day of Wisdom Trek, creating a legacy. If you'd like to listen to any of the past daily treks or read the associated journals, they all can be found on wisdom-trek.com. You can also subscribe on iTunes or Google Play so that each day's trek is downloaded to you automatically. And thank you so much for allowing me to be your guide, your mentor, but most importantly, I am your friend, as I serve you through the Wisdom Trek podcast and journal each day. And as we take this trek of life together, let us always live abundantly, love unconditionally, listen intentionally, learn continuously, lend to others generously, lead with integrity, and then leave a living legacy each day. I am Guthrie Chamberlain, reminding you to keep moving forward, enjoy your journey, and then create a great day every day. See you tomorrow.